Ahmed Courier may well become one of them. He's been in London for 6 years, and now the government wants to start deporting people back to his homeland of Somaliland, even though it does not recognise the government there. But if Denmark can do it, then so can Britain. And so Ahmed may mark the beginnings of a common policy.
If the British government sent us to Somaliland, we will meet a lot of problems economically, politically, and socially.
It just gets bad here, man. I just don't want to be here no more. I pray to God just. I'm just tired of you guys talking about me and just always talking shit. You guys just don't even know how to just leave me alone. I'm just so tired.
Hello there, YouTube family, and I trust you're doing fine from whichever part of the world you're watching this from. Now, when we are looking at the history of Somalians in the United States, then we find that for a long time there has been conflicts and wars going on in the United States and in Somalia, and there has not been stabilization or peace for a long time due to the clan wars, the power struggles, and all that. And for that reason, many Somalians fled their country, trying to seek refuge in other countries. A lot of them came to Kenya just to find protection from whatever was happening in their country. Others went to the United States and such like happenings. So under the administration of the United States, then the Department of Homeland Security gave them temporary protection status. That is how they were able to live in the United States and also be able to work and just secure futures for them. But then recently we have seen a confrontation going on online about the fraud cases that are linked to the Somali communities. Just too many allegations, and there has been back and forth altercation between the president, their representative, that is Ilan Omar, Governor Tim Walz, and all that. And ICE raids have been going on and are still going on in Minneapolis and in Minnesota about trying to deport some of these undocumented immigrants, especially from Somalia and also from other communities. So we, in the last few weeks, we have seen some arrogance from particular members of the Somali community. I'm not saying all of them, but a few of them were very arrogant to the president, that is DJT, and also to the American citizens, especially now that a lot of these welfare programs are being funded by the taxpayer money, and a lot of these folks are in the welfare programs like the SNAP, the EBT, and all that. But still, you would find a number of them being so rude and disrespectful to the people of the United States and America. And we have seen a lot of them being deported to back to their countries. And in this particular episode, I came across a few of them that were deported back to their countries, and they were just lamenting about the situation, which is not looking good for them. So let's dive in, let's have a look at these few clips, and then have a really quick discussion at the end of it all.
Somalia is in the grip of another drought. Families with nothing left at home are fleeing to camps like this in the capital, Mogadishu. Many say hunger is only part of their struggle. They are also escaping fighting in their villages. Kadra Hussein Ibrahim is still mourning her 2-year-old son. She says he died 3 months ago because she couldn't get enough food for him. She once relied on aid agencies, but international funding cuts means she now gets nothing.
I'm worried about my children. I don't have enough food to give them. My husband is dead. I worry about their future. I can't even eat. They are my priority.
Across Somalia, 2 million people live in displacement camps. More arrive in Mogadishu every day, searching for food and safety. The government has declared drought in several regions. Rains have failed yet again, and 4.6 million people need food assistance.
People are not now able to have access to water. The access to water is reducing. The health facilities that were mainly supported by international agencies, by partners, by government now because of the significant reduction in the funding have closed, so we see more people displaced. I mean, the figures show that almost 1.85 million children are now at risk of malnutrition.
Most are exhausted, hungry. Those already living here do what they can to help. These people have just arrived from villages farther south. The community here has been helping with food and shelter, but aid workers say they are struggling to help because of the aid cuts. Some organizations previously supported by USAID and other donors say they've lost half of their funding. Sayed Ali Aden shows us a school he used to run inside the camp. It was the only one serving displaced children. Now it's closed, the health center too, because the money ran out.
I've been idle for the past year and a half. My own children are not in school. Many of the children I taught now spend their days in the market doing nothing. We can't afford to feed them. Other schools are too far from the camp.
Back at Kadra Ibrahim's house, she's managed to prepare some soup for her children, but she has no idea where tomorrow's meal will come from.
I have observed something. Why is it that the places that people are highly religious, like hyper-focused on religion, and everything they do is attached to religion, and they cannot separate living their lives from religion? There is so much adversity, so much poverty, not much progress, and if there is progress, it's minimal over time. What is it that happens? Do they use religion as a coping mechanism to all the misery they are experiencing, or what is it? Because I need to understand.
وعلى السريع أنا معهم لأن دبي أنت اللي وضو باسبوركي ولا قاطي وعلي ساوك جرا أنتو قفوا إمبسي لسؤال لكورو إلا كبغض لسؤال عندي علي. I don't want to be here no more. I'm so tired of being here. This place. This is where I'm living. I'm so tired of it. It's just like I want to go back. I don't want to be here no more. I don't cut my hair. I don't shave. I don't do nothing. I just want to go back.
People who spent years calling America racist are now crying online because they're being sent back to the same country they swore was better than here. Y'all like the video right here, follow for more. And let's get into this one. You see the meltdown videos everywhere, tears, anger, demands, but none of them mention the fraud investigations, the expired visas, the money that moved through criminal networks, or the abuse of programs paid for by the taxpayers. The moment accountability shows up, they all act shocked. I look at these videos and all I see is the same contradiction. Somalia is beautiful when they want moral high ground, but Somalia becomes unsafe the moment removal papers arrive. They switch the story depending on what benefits them. The reactions are emotional because the system finally stopped bending. Deportations are happening because laws exist, because agencies uncovered fraud rings, because certain groups are draining millions from health, housing, and social programs that working Americans rely on. There's nothing complicated here. People act like the West owes everyone a comfortable life, like your job is to give everyone else more than what you could give your own family. And that is not how a country works. You cannot build a healthy society by subsidizing the failure of another one. And while all this is going on, the people who should be rebuilding Somalia.
Some of y'all who don't support this actually are doing the most damage with some of your problematic ass takes. Okay, if your only concern about this issue is, oh, who's gonna watch little Jimmy when I go to work? Who's gonna do that? Nobody would take this amount of money I'm paying them. Or who's gonna cut my lawn? Or do you know the price of strawberries? What's gonna happen to the price of avocados? miss me with all of that. If your first reason isn't the human cost, the human perspective, the amount of terror, do you know that there are so many people that won't even go to the hospital? They're deathly sick, but they're so afraid of being deported, they won't even go to the hospital. Do you know that there are babies being deported? Do you know that there are people that have only known the United States of America that potentially may be deported? And let me say this too. It's a lot of people with my complexion in this predicament as well. So when folks say, Smitty, man, why don't you focus on some black issues? This is a black issue. This is a black issue. So let's focus on the human cost first, second, and third.
Hello there and welcome back to the channel once again. If you are new here or coming across the channel for the first time, please take a minute to like, subscribe and share. So now back to our discussion. We understand that when you understand the dynamics of Africa and how everything is, then you understand that majority of the population are not employed, and unemployment is a major issue for most people. So when you deport somebody that has been living in the US since they were young, I'm not saying Africa or Somalia or US is better than these other countries, but the living conditions, the working conditions, and the system somehow tends to work properly in the United States as opposed to these African countries. So when you want to deport somebody that has been in the US all their life back to Somalia, for example, we understand that Somalia, a majority of the population depend on international fundings and non-governmental organizations to provide food, medicine, Medicare, and all that. And that was done through the US aid. But recently, beginning last year, we saw President Trump saying that they will no longer be funding US aid and all those NGOs. So that means a lot of facilities, medical facilities that were being run in countries like Somalia, Eritrea, northern part of Kenya, and all those drought-stricken countries, now they are not able to get medicine, they are not able to get food and all that. So that means their living condition deteriorates, and they are not finding it easy. So when you deport such a people to Africa, then it becomes hard for them to survive, as you've seen from the clips. That is why a lot of them are crying out. And also it's important to note that unlike the USA, where there are social welfare programs like the SNAP, the ABT and all that, they are not here in Africa. They are not in Somalia, they are not in Kenya, they are not in Djibouti, they are not in Ethiopia. So it's you, if you do not have anything to eat, if you are not able to pay your rent and all that, then it is all up to you. That is why some of these folks are finding it hard, because we understand from the numbers given that a majority of the guys that were on these welfare programs were the Somalians, and just a few of them. So when we say that we deport them back to Somalia, then they find there are no such benefits. There is drought, there is no employment, there is no work, there is no anything for them. There is lawlessness and all that. So they find it difficult to be able to live in such conditions, which I do not know to feel happy or sad about it, about the situation. But then when we look at a few clips of these Somalis who are very arrogant, they were saying they are proud Somalians. So they are proud Somalians when they are in the US, but when they are taken back to their country, they are not proud of it at all. So that rings a message to a number of them not to be too, rude or careless with their talks online, especially in the internet that does not forget. I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let's have a discussion, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.